All right, let's do this. So this is review of the integer and rational exponents for the chapter we've been covering all class. And this is the quiz review. So let's do this, everybody. Here what I have is, here is the worksheet and the questions that you have. And here are the rules and the properties that I'm going to follow and that we're going to follow as we solve these problems. So just make sure we go step by step and take your time, all right? So let's try and do the first one. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and let's see, this looks good. All right, so for the first one it says 4x squared times negative 3 times x to the fifth. So notice here, just take your time. First you do 4 times negative 3, and that's negative 12. And then you have x to the 2 times x to the 5, and that's equal to x to the 2 plus 5. Notice that what are we doing with these exponents? We're going to add them. And which property are we following? We're following the first rule right here, that when you multiply, when you have two variables with the same base, you add the exponent. So this is just 12, negative 12, x to the 7. Okay, let's try and do the next one. Here, we have 3x to the fourth divided by 3x, the whole thing squared. So here, the top stays the same, which is 3x to the fourth. And notice what happens here. This 3x, the whole thing squared, becomes 3 squared times x squared. Notice that because there's that invisible 1 as an exponent for each of these, what are you doing? You're multiplying 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So then this just becomes 9x squared. And which property are we following? We're following this property here. Notice that if it's some x times y to the a, it becomes x to the a, y to the a. And that's the same idea we have over here. So notice that this just becomes 9x squared. And now here, this could be split as 3 over 9 times x to the fourth over x squared. So 3 over 9, that's equal to 1/3, and x to the fourth divided by x squared is equal to x to the fourth minus 2. And where does this come from? When we divide, what do we do with the exponents? We subtract them. So this just becomes 1/3 times x squared, which is just x squared over 3. Okay? All right. This is nice. Let's keep going. Let's try the next one. Here, we have 5 over x squared to the minus 2. So the top, we can't really do anything with it. But then what happens here? Well, we need to multiply this negative 2 times 2, and that becomes x to the minus 4. So then now we have 5 over x to the minus 4. And this becomes 5 over 1 over x to the fourth. And now here, because what property are we using over here? We're using this one. If you have x to the negative n, it's 1 over x to the n. And that's what we did here. If this is x to the minus 4, it's 1 over x to the 4. And then what happens next? The answer just becomes 5x to the 4. But let me show you how we got there. Notice that if we have 5 divided by this fraction, right? So it's 1 over x to the fourth. Here, this becomes keep, change, and flip. And then you put a 1 over this, and it just becomes 5x to the fourth, okay? So that's, yeah, we're just following the rules. And just notice for these questions, it's very step by step. Notice that it's first you do this, then this, then this. You know, you take your time. All right? Let's look at letter D. Letter D is saying x to the negative 4 times x to the 6. And what do you do here with these exponents? Well, this is x to the negative 4 plus 6 over x to the 7. And then here we're adding the exponents, so this becomes x squared over x to the 7. And then here, what do? We just do x squared minus 7. Right, because here, once we're dividing, we subtract these two, and this becomes x to the minus 5, which is equal to 1 over x to the 5. All right? Take your time, rewind if you needed to slow things down, but this is the steps. Notice that first, what did we do? We added the exponents. Negative 4 plus 6 is 2. and then that's x squared over x to the 7th. Then we subtracted the exponents, and now once we have that negative exponent, what are we doing? We're following this rule over here where it's 1 over that x to the 5th. All right? If you're feeling good and confident, what I want you to do is keep going and try and do these questions by yourself, and only use the video if you really, really need to. But let's move on. So here, let me move this camera angle a little bit. Okay, let's look at the next one. Here, this is 3x to the minus 3 over x to the minus 5. Notice that this is equal to 3 times x to the minus 3 over x to the minus 5. You're allowed to split this, okay, because this is equal to this. And now, what do we do over here? This is x to the minus 3 minus a minus 5. We're just following the rules. When you divide, you're supposed to subtract the exponent. So you have minus 3 minus a negative 5. And then this becomes 3 times x to the negative 3 plus 5. Because here you have a negative times a negative is positive. And then this just becomes 3x. What's negative 3 plus 5? That's just 2. That's it. All right. Let's try the next one. Here, which property can we follow? For this question over here, notice that it says you have some sort of fraction raised to the negative 3. Which property do we want to follow? We want to follow this property here. So let me zoom out a little bit. Let me fix the camera angle. Okay, so for this one, what we want to do is, let's see, this is 2 to the negative 3, x to the 30. Okay? That's what it becomes, because here, you're just, what's the exponent over here? It's 1, so it's 1 times negative 3. And what's the exponent over here? It's negative 10, so it's negative 10 times negative 3, and that's x to the 30. So this just becomes 1 over 2 to the 3 divided by x to the 30. And now we have a fraction divided by this, so it's, here notice that what is 1 to the 2/3? That's 1 over 8, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Then that's divided by x to the 30. So that you have keep, change, flip, and this just becomes 1 over 8 times x to the 30. Okay? Very good. Let's keep going. This one, let's follow this one. Let's see, this is x to the, let me fix the angle. All right, so this is, here this becomes x to the 3n times x to the 4th. And notice that once you have this, you're just following the rules. If the base is the same, then you add the exponents. Can you add 3n plus 4? You can't combine it, so you just leave it the way it is. And this is okay to express it in such a way that you can't simplify it anymore, right? Excellent. All right, so let's keep going. How much time do we have on the video? 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's keep going. This one, let's look at number 2. It says, Mr. Yoshiko said that 16 to the 1 over 4 is equal to 4 because 1/4 of 16 is equal to 4. So that's his reasoning. He's saying that this is equal to 4 because 1/4 of 16 is 4. Use the properties of exponents to explain, oh, it's a she. I'm so sorry. Yoshiko is a she. So explain why she is not correct. All right, so here, which properties can we look at? We're going to be looking at this one over here in the bottom. What this is saying that if you have some x to the 1 over n, it's equal to the nth root of x. So here, for example, if I have 16, if this is the property we're using, right? And what does this mean? That if I have 16 to the 1 over 4, notice that whatever is in the denominator of that fraction becomes the root of it, right? So this is the 4th, right? How do you read this? This is the 4th root of 16. And here, how do you read this? This is saying what number times itself 4 times gives you 16, and that's 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. All right? So Yoshiko is incorrect this does not equal 4, this does equal 2. And the reason is using the properties of exponents. All right? Now here are the next couple of questions. The Diablo sauce. All right, so what I want you to do is try and pause the video and do these questions by yourself. But if not, we could do it together. Let's see. Here for this one, let's see what happens. Let's see. So this is 4x to the 5th, 3x to the minus 2, and then what does this becomes? This becomes 16x squared, right? To go from here to here. Because if you have 4x, the whole thing squared, that becomes 4 squared x squared, which is just 16x squared, all right? Now, what we have to do is we just have to multiply. So this becomes 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 16. Let's see, what is 12 times 16? That should be 192. Okay. And now here, this becomes, what do we do with the exponents? We just add them because we're multiplying the exponents. So we're doing x to the 5 plus negative 2 plus 2. So that just becomes 192 x to the 5. Okie dokie. Let's look at the next one. Here, the top just stays the way it is. And then what happens here, if I have negative 2x, the whole thing to the negative 3, then it's the same idea that there's an invisible 1 as an exponent for each of these. So you're just multiplying 1 times negative 3. So you have negative 2 to the negative 3 and x to the minus 3. So this becomes negative 2 to the minus 3, x to the minus 3. Okay? And let's see what happens next. Actually, no, there's an easier way of doing this. This will require more. Oh, okay, we could do it this way. It's not a problem. So then what happens here, this becomes 4x cubed over 1 over negative 2 to the 3 times 1 over x to the 3. And then this just becomes 4x cubed divided by 1 over negative 8 times x cubed. And then this becomes a keep change, and this flips on top. So this is negative 8 times x to the 3. And then what do you do here? This is 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. X to the 3, x to the 3 is x to the 6. Okay? This one was, there's another way of solving this problem, but this works out fine. And if you feel like these steps were a little too fast, just raise your hand or ask me and I could show you. Okay, let's see, the next one. X to the negative 4, x to the 5, so this becomes x over 3x cubed. How did we just get x? Because x to the negative 4 plus 5, that's just equal to x to the 1. So x to the 1 is x. And then this just becomes 1 over 3x squared. Okie dokie. Let's try the next one. All right, the extra credit. Let's see. So this one becomes 2 times x to the minus 4 1 over 3x the whole thing cubed. Okay, so then this becomes 2 times 1 over x to the 4th times 1 over 27x cubed. So this becomes 2 over 27 x to the 7. Right? Follow the rules. Right? This is x to the 2 times negative 2, so that's negative 4. This becomes 1 over 3x cubed. And then here, the 3 cubed is 27, and x cubed is just x cubed here, and then it follows. All right, last one. This one becomes 2x squared, the whole thing to the negative 2, over 3x to the minus 1, the whole thing to the minus 2. So then this becomes 1 over 2x squared, the whole thing squared, over 1 over 3x to the minus 1, the whole thing squared. Right? And now this becomes 1 over 4x to the 4 divided by 1 over 9 over, let's see, this is x to the minus 2. So then this is 1 over 4x to the 4th divided by 1 over 9x to the minus 2. So you have to keep change flipped. So this is 1 over 4x to the 4 times 9x to the minus 2 over 1, which is 9x to the minus 2 over 4x to the 4. And then let's see. Let's see, so this becomes 9 over 4 just becomes 3 over 2. And then this is x to the minus 2 minus a 4, which is 3 over 2 x to the minus 6, which is 3 over 2 x to the 6. Okay. And this will be the final answer for the extra credit right down here. All right, class. I hope this helped. Study. Get ready for the quiz. I'll see you.